Hello Flosstube, my name is Sarah and my channel is Handmade by Sarah W. I'm so glad you chose to join me today for a visit and a chat about cross stitch. Mostly my channel is about cross stitch. I sometimes do some quilting and other crafts, but today it's going to be all about the cross stitch. I'm so excited for today. It is my 8th episode and today is September 3rd. It's Sunday. And I hope you're having a great weekend. It's a long weekend, holiday weekend, and I hope you're getting some family time and stitching time. And I know I sure am. I'm so excited about today's video because I have so many things to share that I've been working on the past 2 weeks. So normally I do an episode every 2 weeks. It's my 8th episode. I can't believe that I've made this many. I was so nervous the first time I made one, and now here I am, 8 episodes in, and I'm so excited. And I've been really excited to make this one because I have been finishing like crazy. So I have so many finishes to share with you, and I hope that you will enjoy everything that I have to share. So I do have several whips that are also, I have a couple that I had worked on and finished, so I'll wait to show those when I do all my finishes. So I thought I would start out with just my whips and some new starts that I've been working on too, and then we'll get into everything that I have been finishing. So it is September, which is Sampler September. A lot of people are starting new samplers or stitching on their samplers. So I have 2 samplers that I've worked on the past 2 weeks that I'd like to share. And they're both big. And also the New Hampshire Stitcher has a Sal, BAP to School Sal, big amazing project. And so I don't know, can I have more than one to participate in that? Because I have so many big ones going. I've been thinking, like, do I want to start a new one? Do I not? Should I just focus on the ones that I have? And I just keep going back and forth. As of now, I have not started anything new, but I have put in some stitches on some that were already started. So we're going to start there. And so the first one that I'm going to show is, let me get the chart so I can show you. Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais. My mom got this for me for my birthday, and it's beautiful. And I really, really love the blue in this, the bluebirds. So, so many people have started stitching this. So many have reached out to me and said, I just got my chart, I want to stitch it. So initially I didn't say like that there was a hashtag or anything for this, but if you want to use this, my friend Kara, who started this the same day that I did, she came up with one, hashtag Rejoice Evermore with Friends. So let's use that. If you're stitching this, tag me too so I can make sure to see it if I have inspired you to start this, because I want to see everybody's, and I'll show you where I'm at. Well, first of all, let me tell you, I always start in the middle. So the last time I showed this, I had only gotten this part right here done. So, well, no, and I think I had done this line right here. Now I have finished this entire section of motifs. So I'll show you my progress. So here is where I'm at. So last time I had this done and then just that solid line. And now I have done all the motifs above. I especially love the bluebirds. Really liking the colors in this. Speaking of colors, I wanted to touch on the floss that I'm using for this. A lot of people have asked me about this because this chart does have a few DMCs, only 2. Everything else is fancy floss. It's a really big one, and so a lot of people didn't want to get like all of the fancy floss, or like me, I got a few of them and then I'm using the rest DMC. And so like these are the ones, the fancy floss that I got. I just kind of, gosh, I really like, look at these blues. Isn't that pretty? pretty. So, I wanted to share because several people have reached out to me about like, what are you using, or do you have a DMC conversion? And so here's what I've done. I've got my project information card. You can buy these from Tiger Lily, my friend Carrie, on her website. But so what I have, I'm going to show you. This is what I'm doing. If you want to take a screenshot, hopefully you can see that. If not, just message me on Instagram. I'm happy to share. I am doing this on an 18 count Zweigart Ada in the color Platinum. This is a big one. It's 251 by 248. And so it's almost square. And basically what I do is I'll just kind of look and say, like, of course I want the house color and the bird colors in the fancy floss, but a lot of the like green or brown, well, I mean, some of them I did buy the fancy floss, but some of them, if they just didn't show up like a big amount in the chart, I just picked the DMC for those. So, however, some people were interested in using only DMC, and so I did do a conversion for that for a couple people. If you're interested, that's my conversion for that. If you are interested in using only DMC, I did have someone tell me that, like, wow, this really eats up a lot of fancy floss. So if you are more interested in just using the DMC instead, I think it will still be beautiful. And I think that's, you know, always a good choice. And ours all will probably end up looking a little bit different, which I also like to see all the differences, you know, when you make different choices or change colors or whatever. So I'm excited to see all of those. Tag me, use that hashtag if you want. And yeah, it's been fun so far to stitch, but I have a long ways to go on that one. So, and I'm keeping this in my January Keeper Club Keeper. So pretty. Okay, my next big sampler that I worked on is in my July Project Keeper Club Keeper. And this is my birthday sale. Jane Hopkins, my birthday start. And a lot of people have started stitching this. I love it. I love seeing it. I love seeing the different fabric choices. Also, where people are starting, what they've stitched so far, people that are using colors that I haven't gotten to yet. It's so exciting to me to see all the bright red. That's making me really excited. And I haven't stitched anything but like greens and yellows. And so I can't wait to get to that myself. And oh, just to see the colors pop on this fabric, I love this. I mean, every time I stitch it, I'm so happy. It has been a relaxing stitch for me. There's a lot of chunks of color where you can just put one color on and like do a whole section. And I really like stitching like that. Like when I stitch small things, I really like to complete a color and do everything on that in one color. I obviously can't do that here, but I can do it in little chunks. So, you know, like all of this is one color. And so I just put that color on and go. And so it's been really fun and enjoyable for me to stitch that. I did, like, since I showed you last, all of this is new. There's a whole lot of fill-in on the leaves that I did. Also, I finished all of the leaves all the way around the border. If you remember, if you had seen my previous video where I talked about how some, like most of the leaves are one color, and then maybe like, I don't know, 10 or so are a different color. In fact, there's only one up here. This one is a completely different color than all the rest. So I don't know if it's really gonna come across here, but you know, honestly, if you wanted to, you could have just like gone with one color for all of that, but I was following the rules and did all of, I just did all of the colors like how the chart said. I am using the DMCs on this, all that are in the chart. So I think there's like 3 different brands that are charted in this, and I chose the DMC. So as you can see, I mean, it's ready for that flower here. I mean, it's just, I love this. I am stitching it on a, it's an 18 count, and the color is called Parliament, and it's by Forbidden Fiber Co. And it's like a pinkish, really mottled, kind of a just kind of like a neutral, but it does have that pink hue to it, and I really am happy with my color choice. I really like it. Every time I pull it out, I'm happy. It's been a really fun stitch. So like I said, a lot of people have joined in, which is super fun to see. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So we do have some hashtags for that one too, of them. In fact, Jane Hopkins B-Day Sal and Sarah's B-Day Sal. I love this project keeper so much. Well, hello. I had it crooked. I've got a lot in here. Actually, I need to keep this open because one of my new starts is in the other side of this. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you now. Okay, so this is, let's see, what's the front? I think this is the front. Okay, this is Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. This, okay, if you've been here before, you know, I'm like all about dough bowl pillows right now. We're like really all about them. You're about to see what I mean, but this is a really good like starter pack. Like if you don't have many pillows or you kind of wanted to start a dough bowl, I think you get a lot of bang for your buck here because you get a spring, you get all the seasons, summer, autumn, and winter. These are all really cute. Now, I will say there are a lot of colors involved in such a small little pillow. These are deceivingly, like I felt like they were a lot bigger, especially because of how many colors are in them, but they're not that big, really. I mean, the one, so I've started with fall, and it is 106 by 71. Like it's not that big. Especially I'm stitching mine on an 18 count. So I'll show you my progress so far. My friend Allie, she and I had started a year ago stitching on these monthly Quakers because we both had the Cubby, and I had planned to do that for mine, and I told her, and she was like, yeah, I want to stitch that too. So we just had been starting those the first of every month, and this September was our last one. So my sister got me this book for my birthday, I think. She had it too, and we were like, well, this would be perfect to kind of take the place of that stitch. So here's where I am. I've got all the windows. Let me kind of compare it to the chart for you. I've got all the windows in, some of the pumpkins, not all of them, but that owl in the moon, how cute. Oh, I love that. I just love him. And I'm not all the way done with him. Like he still needs his little feet, but yeah, I'm loving this. It's very cute. I'm doing this on an 18 count. Actually the same color that I'm doing Rejoice Evermore on. It's platinum, 18 counts white guard. So I'm gonna show you my project card on this one. I literally bought nothing for these. I'm just gonna try. Now I may, in the other months, I may buy, like especially the house color. Like I'm not sure what that house is, but I mean, I'm gonna need that color. Like, I may buy the, you know, some going forward, but for this fall one, I just pulled everything from stash. So some of it is called for, some of it is a substitution. Everything that I substituted is in DMC. So I'm gonna share with you the colors that I have picked. There is a chance, like as I'm stitching it, I could change it, but I don't think I will. But here is everything that I did not substitute, I just put here on the bottom, and then the substitutions are in the little boxes. And oh, you know what? Someone actually asked me if I would do just a total DMC conversion for that. And so the ones that I did not substitute, that I'm using fancy floss for, I did DMC for those. So if you're interested in that, there you go. Also, I'm not 100% sure on the house. I think I might stitch it in the same color that I stitched Mighty Acorn. That house was in a blue color, and I had some left over, and I'm thinking I might go for that color, but I'm not 100%. Like, I need to look at it on there, but I think I might do that. I think that'll be cute, but we'll see. Okay, so I have another, I'm kind of going out of order here on my list. I want to make sure that I include everything. Okay, so this was another new start. I just started it a couple days ago. No, I know when I started it, on the 2nd. That was yesterday. I bought this, I don't know, about a week or two ago, and it's Autumn Cottage by Plum Street Samplers. Sorry for the glare. And I did talk about this, I think, in my last video, because I was watching Megan, who is the Seattle Stitcher, and her friend, who is the Museum Stitcher, they are stitching this together, and I was kind of like regretting the fact that I did not buy that one. I had it in my hand at a shop a couple weeks prior, and so I just went ahead and ordered it. And I was gonna just start it right away, but I didn't. I was like working on other stuff, and then 2 floss tubers. It is Textile Crafts and the Scrappy Chick. Let me make sure I'm saying it all right. Let's see. Oh, I guess I didn't. Yeah, here it is. No. Okay, I'm sorry. But yes, the Scrappy Chick, I believe, is her Flosstube name. They are doing a sal, and it's called Plumstreetpumpkinsal. You can stitch a Plum Street, fall, or Halloween, any kind of like autumn stitch, and participate in the sal. Use the hashtag, and they're actually doing prizes, and so like giveaways if you participate in the sal. So I'll tell you, Textile Crafts, she did a really good short, like little floss tube extra, and I'll link that below to kind of just explain this is what the sal is about. And so I'll link that so you can watch that to get all the details. But here is my start. And I chose a dark blue fabric to do mine on because I think that white house is going to look so good on that fabric. So this morning I was watching, when I was stitching, I was watching Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, and Nicole Spohr. They both put out new videos today. Or it might have been last night. Last night, I think Megan's was last night. Anyway, this morning while I was doing my stitching, that's who I was watching, and I was working a lot on this. I got all, that whole vine on the side and the smoke out of the chimneys, and then the roof filled in as I was watching them. So I think this is gonna be a cute little pop of color in my dough bowl, and I love the color that I chose. So I'm excited to see how that house is gonna look. I don't know why, but I have this like obsession with when it's a white house, I really want it to stand out for some reason, because you know, a lot of fabrics, your white might not stand out too much if it's like a neutral. And in fact, I have a story about that I'll tell you when I get to my fully finishes. I had a little adventure this week with that very same thing. So I'm just, I don't know, when I saw that, and there's like a little bit of blue in the pattern too. See, and those flowers, and I don't know, I just thought, wow, that would really look good on this fabric. This is a 14 count, picture this plus. It's in the color Mystic. And I don't think I've shown it here before, but when Carrie and I did our live together where we showed like all of our whips and sals together, we both showed Hello from Liz Matthews, her Quaker snowflakes, and I did that on this same color, and so I had a little bit left over, and so that's where I pulled that from. And I have this in my amazing cute little mini keeper from my friend Carrie. This is like my favorite thing for all my little smalls that I know I'm gonna finish them quick. So like this just kind of stays out all the time. My other keepers and bags, I have like a basket that I keep those in, and I'll pull them out as I want to work on them. But this doesn't ever get put up because it just has all my like working smalls that and I do those pretty quick. So this is like, I love this so much. Okay. So now I'm so excited for this next part because I have so many finishes. Y'all, I fully finished, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 9 things. Why did I think there was 10? For some reason I thought there was 10. Maybe it's 9. Anyway, whatever. I have a lot of finishes and I'm excited. So all of them are fall except for 2. So I'm gonna start with the 2 that aren't fall, and then we'll get into all of the fall things. Because that's like really been my focus lately, is just doing all this fall stitching. Oh, I know, there is 10, because this is one of them. Okay, so we'll do 3 of them first and then we'll get into the fall. So this is my Paisleys and Polka Dots Cubby. My sister got me this for my birthday last year. So last July, she got me this cubby. It comes with the months and the days. And so I guess October was the first, well, I started in September. I started with October, and I stitched that with my friend Allie. Every month on the 1st, we started stitching another one of these for our boxes. And the goal was to have it fully finished before the next month. So I started this August 1st and had it fully finished and ready to display for September. I have the whole year now. So maybe next time, because I didn't bring them over here, but I'll show all of these so you can see just all of my months. I'm just thrilled to have them done, and that I can now have this year after year. Every month I can switch it out. And I did this one. I actually stitched all of them on an 18 count Aida. Some of them were the same fabric, some of them different colors. This was the only one that I stitched on this color, and it's 18 count vintage Zweigart. I got it from Hobby Lobby when I showed you those Hobby Lobby Aidas that I got, and I just thought it was the perfect color for this with all the purple. And I will tell you that I did the DMCs on this, but 3888 is not a color anymore, and it's one of the called fors. So the substitution for that is 3041. So if you're interested, that's the color that you would want to get if you wanted to do the same one that I did. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one is a little, this was a little freebie from Needlework Press, and it's a little strawberry urn, and that's actually the name of it, strawberry urn. I did this on 18 count platinum Zweigart, and I used Gentle Arts pomegranate as my color to get that variegation. I finished this in a pillow. All of the pillows that you're going to see in today's video were finished with Tiger Lily Designs Pillow Finish Tutorial. I will link that below. It is the tutorial that you need if you want to finish pillows. So I love it, and I follow her directions exactly. On the back of this, I just did a gray fabric, just a plain gray. And I didn't do a trim on this. It's little, so I just thought, you know, I just leave it at this. It's a 60 by 80. I did it on 18 count, so just a cute little dough bowl pillow. And I have like this tiny little dough bowl that is so cute, my sister gave me. I have another strawberry finish in here from, this was from the French Giraffe. So cute. And then this is my last finish that was not fall. Excuse me. So back, okay, I think this was last summer. Colorado cross stitcher, I participate in all of her stitching camps. The only one I haven't done was the very first one, and I just didn't know about it, so I didn't participate in that one. So the prompt, I don't remember what month it was. For some reason I'm thinking it was July, but it could have been August. It was stitch something new to you. So I think that's what it, no. That was a different one. This one was stitch something that you can finish other than in a frame. So I got my sister Laura to participate with me, and we picked the same pattern and we stitched it together. And I think I called her out on a past video when I showed this, when I was talking about this year's cross stitch camp. And I was like, okay, Laura, I need you to finish it up. Well, she did. She finished hers. She got it to me. And I fully finished both of them for us this week. Let me get my little board. Okay. So this is actually part of a 9, it's a series. I think there's 9. And it is called, this one is called Dear Tier. It's a tier tray. This is by Hands On Design. The collection is the White Christmas collection. And this is the only one that I have in that collection. It is 37 by 53, so it's kind of small. But I made some cording for us. So I finished both of ours the same exact way. Now, if you look, this is not Aida. And you know, I typically stitch on Aida. My sister got me out of my comfort zone. And she had me stitch on linen. We both did it for the first time on this project. And I mean, it wasn't like the easiest thing, but I did it. And it's 32 count. And in my haul, I'll show you, she's getting me out of my comfort zone again. So we'll see how that goes. But on the back, I finished this with a, just a plaid. I thought it went good with it, with the browns and the greens. And so I'm excited that we'll have this to put on our tree this year. Okay, I'm gonna start with, let's see, do this one first. Okay, the Winds of Autumn book, I've probably shown it every time that I've ever done a video because I love it and I love Blackbird. I didn't bring it up here this time, but I've shown it a bunch of times and I think everyone has seen that book anyway. There is a chart in there called Waiting for the Harvest. Now, I showed this last time that I had finished it. I think I had like started it and finished it. I did buy the called for color that it does call for. And it was General Arts Dark Chocolate. It looked so much more variegated in the picture. And that's really the look that I wanted, but I'm happy with it. And I just did like a chocolate fabric on the back. And this is just a little bitty thing. It stitched up in a couple days. It was like 89 by 51. I did it on an 18 count Zweigart sand. So that's ready for my dough bowl. Okay, I did finish. Okay, this was in the Punch Needle and Primitive. I believe it was fall of 22. And it's Hello from Liz Matthews. And it's called Boo. and it has these adorable little kitties. I have 2 cats. They're not black, they're Bengals, but I'm just gonna pretend like this is like their outline. So this is my kitties. I finished it just as she does in the picture. Now this, I had my copy from the Punch, Needle, and Primitive magazine, and so I'd stitched it up recently, but it's now a new release. She has just released this to the public, so you can get it. I mean, you might not can get it like today, but as soon as the stores start to get it, if not today, it'll be like ASAP, like she's already sent them out. So the way I finished this, I used the Lady Dot Creates chenille that she used in the model. It's, I think it's called Licorice, I believe. Actually, it's right here. Yes, Licorice. And I believe I used the DMC, yes. And you know what? I didn't sew this chenille on. I glued it because Sherry from the Colorado Cross Stitcher told me that I can do that. That's how she does hers. And I used the Aleene's tacky glue and I glued mine on, and it's just perfectly fine. And the back, I used a really pretty orange and black. I'm so excited to have that finished. I love it. And I have another pillow, and this one is called, it's by Brenda Gervais, and it's called Lollies, Crows, and Candy Corn. And I think this was a new start since the last time I spoke to you. Like, I don't think I had started this at that point. I did a purple rickrack to kind of pull out that purple lollipop, and also the ghost little scarf. So this is the one that I had the story about stitching the white, and I'll tell it to you. First of all, let's talk about the name of this chart. It's called Lollies, Crows, and Candy Corn. So, you know, very cute little name, and I'm stitching it, and I'm like, wait a minute, Lollies, okay, Candy Corn, yeah, I see that. Where is the crow? There's not a crow. So I'm like, my mom was here and I was working on it, and I was like, what? Crow? I don't see a crow. What? I had no idea. There's a candy called crows, and that's the little dark candies. They kind of look just like little black gumdrops or something. Well, I had no idea that was such a thing, but it is, and that's what those candies are. So I started stitching this. I was texting with my friend Jessica. She's the Sweetwater Stitcher. We both had this chart, and we were just talking about like what we were working on or whatever, and we decided to pull this out one night together at the same time and get it started. And anyway, as I'm stitching it, you know, I think I'm done. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, that ghost really does not stand out. So I hate to backstitch. It is my least favorite thing in the whole world. When I'm done stitching it, I want to be done. I don't want to stitch anything else again. I don't want to go over it. Like, I'm done. I finished it. I hate to backstitch. Like, if it's in a little, like a little, I'm trying to see if I have one that has this. Like, if there's an accent that needs it and I can do that as part of my process, sure, fine, I'll do it. That's no problem for me. But going back around and I don't want to do that ever. But let me tell you, I backstitched that whole ghost, and I didn't like it. It made me unhappy. Like, I love this chart, and I was so excited to get it. I was so unhappy with it at that moment. And I was showing it to Jessica. Anyway, we decided, let me just go back over that ghost one more time with another strand, because since this is 18 count, I had done it with one strand. So I went back with another strand, and I feel like you can see him so much better now. And I even did, I did everything that was white except for like his teeth and down here at the bottom. I didn't go back over those because I felt like, because it had the darker color beside it, I felt like you could see it pretty good. So I'm so much happier with it now. And I did the same fabric on the back that I did on this one. So they're twinsies. I did mostly all the called for colors. I think I did substitute the purple, because I didn't have the exact called for one. I did a different one. It's a little bit brighter, I think. And I didn't write it down. I'm so sorry. I'm usually like really good about that, kind of obsessively good about it. Like I record it all, but for some reason I didn't on this. And I realized that and I was like, great, I did not write it down. So anyway, I could probably figure it out if you're interested, but anyway, really happy with how this turned out. I love it so much. Another thing about this, the handle on the bucket was it was like an over one stitch, but I did it on 18 count Ada, so I just did regular stitches on that and made it work. So I'm super happy with how that turned out. And the last pillow that I have, I can't remember if I think I might have finished this on the last video, or I was close. I know I'm pretty sure I had showed it. I'm pretty sure about that. But this is Penny Pumpkin by the Scarlet House. And this was totally inspired by Carrie, Tiger Lily Designs, pulled hers out. And Liz, the Antique Needleworkers, she pulled hers out. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need it now. Because you know how like when you see something and you're thinking, I really want that, and then you see it again and you're like, well, okay, that's my sign. Add to cart. So on this one, I believe I used I did all DMC on this one. And I did it, okay, so it's 112 by 78. So this is a little bit of a bigger pillow. Especially like if you compare it to this one, I mean, it's bigger. But I have a big dough bowl. So I think it's gonna work just fine, but I did it on a 14 count silver Zweigart. The reason that I did 14 count, because normally I don't do a whole lot of 14 count, especially on something like this, but the reason I did is because there are all of these over one little stars. And I wanted to do them, I didn't wanna leave them out. I wasn't gonna stitch it on linen. So I thought, okay, here's a challenge. I'm gonna do it on 14 count and I'm gonna do the over one. And I did them all. And they were a labor of love. They took me a long time, but I think they look pretty good. I'm really happy with this. I love it. I love the colors in it. I think that the fabric I chose worked really well. And I really like the fabric that I put on the back. It's just like a gray, like a buffalo plaid. And I think it looks really good. I did the black rickrack around it. And again, for all of these, I used the tutorial from Carrie, and I will link that because honestly, it's the tutorial that you need. So this bowl is not complete, but there are, you know, now I have all these finishes for my dough bowl and my cute little pumpkins. Actually, I have another bowl downstairs that I think what I'm gonna do is put the Halloween ones in that bowl and then more just fall in this one. But I need to finish some more to kind of make it, you know, fill out a little bit. But like that Autumn Cottage one that's blue, I think that's gonna look really good in here too. So I can have kind of all different colors, you know, in my bowl, all different colors of fabric. I'm super happy and excited about that. Okay, I finished stitching this weeks ago. Not the last video, but the one before that. I was supposed to show it, and for some reason, and I mean, I even had it right here, but for some reason, it just didn't make it. Like, I just completely forgot to mention it. And so now, not only is it a stitch finish, but it's a fully finish. Okay, let me see if I can not have glare. I'm sorry. But this is the Winds of Autumn. And no, I'm sorry. It's out of the Winds of Autumn book, and it's Mighty Acorn. And it says, mighty oaks from little acorns grow. And this is the one where I changed the house to blue. And a lot of people have liked this change and have messaged me about it and asked me about it. There's a sale going on with, let's see, Be a Blessing and Mrs. Smith stitches, and they both are wanting to do the blue house like mine. So I'm glad that I could have inspired you ladies to do the blue house. As you see back here, I really like a blue house. There's actually a story behind the blue houses with me, and it goes back to like my childhood. So it's a theme and it's a thing, but I love a blue house. Oh, and you know what? I need to tell you the details about this one. So I did this on, let's see, I think it was an 18 count. I know I wrote it down. Hold on one second, please. Okay. Yeah. This is called Mighty Oaks. I'm sorry, Mighty Acorn. Mighty Acorn. Here it is. Okay, Out of the Winds of Autumn book. I already told you that. It's 119 by 185. So I do like that it's you know, taller and skinnier. I like that. And I did it on an 18 count Zweigart in sand. And I did a mix of the fancy flosses that it called for and some DMC. So like you can see in the leaves, I have a lot of variegation and everything because I did you know, a lot of it in the fancy floss. I did a couple DMC colors. I don't have that right here with me, but if you're interested in what I used, you can always message me on Instagram. I have no problem sharing that. I love to talk about all of that stuff, so it's no problem to ask me for that. Okay, I'm excited about this one. This one is a chart from Hello from Liz Matthews, and I started it last October. It was a start that I started on the way to the beach, and I finished it. I mean, it's been finished for a while. I bought a frame for it. The dimensions were not correct on the listing for it when I ordered it, so it was too small. And so I had to send it back, and I found one that works and it fits. And okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to edit a little bit out, but this is my finish of Autumn Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I started this in October of last year, so 2022, on my way to the beach. And I finished it up, like it didn't even really take me too awful long to do it, although it is really big. And let's see, it's 287 by 175. I love this chart. The second I saw it, I had to have it. You know, fall is my favorite. I feel like I say that a lot, but really it is. It's when I just feel so good. So just everything about it. Now I live in Alabama, so like we have a pretty warm fall still, but just to get that little bit of break from the heat, I don't know, it's just my favorite time of year. And this, I don't know, it was just the mushrooms, the butterflies, the bird, even the spiders, like everything about this. I loved it so much. The second I saw it, I had to have it. And I'm so glad to have it framed and it's gonna be displayed. I haven't put my fall stuff out yet, but it's very close. Now that we're in September, I feel like it's coming and I'm excited to get everything out, but I'm really happy to have this finished. And I love it so much. I did this on an 18 count fiber on a whim, so I used one strand. I used all the DMC colors that it called for, and the color of my fabric is called Cafe Olay. It's 18 count fiber on a whim. So it has beautiful modeling. It's got almost a greenish hint to it, but I thought that worked really good with this color palette. So I love this so much. I'm so happy to have found a frame that I think works great for it. And I just love it. Okay. Now, my last finish that I'm just thrilled to show you. I'm beyond because it was not like the easiest thing. I mean, it wasn't like super, super hard. I mean, I was sweating a little bit. I will be honest. It's one of these, I was in the thick of it and I was like, what? I can't turn back. I got to keep going. I got to do it. And I love to push myself with a finish. You know, I don't want there to be anything that I feel like I can't do. And so anyway, a lot of people went like really crazy over this and loved it and have started it or about to start it. Nicole Spores, she got the book and said she's about to start it. So I'm so excited to share this with you. This was my Colorado cross stitcher summer camp piece for August. And I fully finished it. Like, that was what I pushed myself to do. Really, all you had to do is finish stitching it, or really you didn't even have to do that, but I wanted to fully finish it by the end of August, and I did it. I started it 1st of August, finished stitching it, and fully finished it. And this was also out of the Winds of Autumn book. It's called First Winds of Autumn, and it's a berry. And it's the very first berry that I've ever completed, that I've ever stitched or finished. I love it. I love it so much. So I did this on 18 count vintage country mocha. It is 174 by 118. So it's not super small. I mean, you can see how big it is compared to my hand. I mean, so what I did on this, I did some DMC. The fancy flosses that I did get are Bright Leaf, Chickpea, and Cinnamon Twist. The bird was charted in molasses, but I didn't like that color when I pulled it, and so I got charcoal instead. And then the leaves and the stem are in a Velveteen by Lady Dot Creates in the color Potato. So, oh, let's see, look. So look, he can go in my fall dough bowl too. So I'm so excited. I'm just thrilled to have it done. I'm so excited to share it with y'all because this was, like, I was so pushing myself to finish this. And it wasn't that bad. Where I got a little nervous was sewing the leaves and the stem in. Up until that point, and even making the stem and the leaves was fine. And then I got nervous because I was like, I want it to all stay and be, you know, forever. And it worked out, but I was just nervous. That was just me. But I'll tell you, there are directions in the book for how to finish it, but you know, I love a video. So HelenD has a really good strawberry finish video. So I watched it and I just kind of played it as I went, and that's just how I finished it. So, okay, the only other thing, that's all my fully finishes. So there was 10. And I did all that this past 2 weeks since I've seen you. And I'm so thrilled to have so many things finished. And I have a couple things of haul that I will show you. And then that's it. And I'll see you in another 2 weeks. So one thing that I got that is so cute. I don't know if you guys have heard of this app, Whatnot. But a couple people that I know are selling items on there. It's kind of a live auction situation. They put up an item. Hey, I have this. This is how much the bidding starts at. It stays up for like 20 seconds. People bid, bid, bid. And then whoever is the highest wins it and you move on. So Carrie did one and she was selling some of her gnomes. And I got a patriotic one. Look at this guy. The star on his hat really sold me. Like, I don't know. I really loved that. I have some of her Christmas gnomes too. These are really good quality. They are made from upcycled sweaters. And so I love that. But he's got like a flat bottom and he's pretty heavy, and so he can sit on a shelf. And so he's gonna be really cute next to all my patriotic finishes. So really excited about him. And then, okay. So you know I said that my sister got me out of my comfort zone on this and we stitched on linen. Well, we have another chart that we both wanted to stitch together, and it is also from Hello from Liz Matthews. And that one is called Two Pumpkins Bright. It's a small, and we wanted to stitch that, and I can't believe we're gonna try this just because I'm so like into Ada and like I love it. But here we're gonna put ourselves out of our comfort zone, and we got something that's new to both of us, and it's Lugana. It's an even weave. Oh, look how pretty that is though. So I'm really excited. This is by Picture This Plus. It's 32 count and the color is vellum. So I think the colors for that little pumpkin stitch are gonna look really good on this. And yeah, I'll report back if I can actually see it and do it. I don't know, it should be an adventure, but you know, it'll be fun either way. And hopefully we have a finish then we can both see it. Okay, the next two things that I got initially were fully inspired or enabled from Stitchy Sarah Reads. She's half of Stitchy Friends. So Sarah and Jen have a Flosstube channel, Stitchy Friends. I love their channel. I love them. I love their friendship and relationship. I've been watching them since they started their channel. And I get inspired every time I watch them. I really always find something that they're working on that's that I'm like, oh, I really want that. That's really pretty. But Sarah had shown something a while ago. Her friend had given her this. It was like an exclusive from a retreat or something, and I couldn't get it, you know, right away because it wasn't available. But now it is, and I couldn't get it quick enough. It is Autumn Bee from the Blue Flower, and it's so cute on this purple fabric. So I got a piece of fabric called, I think it's called Peaceful Purple. It's 16 count. I think it's Witcholt. And then I got the Lady Dot Creates Rick Rack Berry Crush that it's called for that goes around it. It is charted in Dinky Dyes, but I'm gonna do mine in the DMC Conversion. I think it gives you yeah, it does give you DMC colors. So I have not started this yet, but I love these colors, love them. And that's another pop of color for my fall dough bowl. I'm really excited about that. Now, this next one, Sarah had gotten this a while back, and I flipped over it when she showed it, but I couldn't get it yet. It was not released to the public, and now it is. Since then, my friend Carrie got it, and she is starting a sal with it. So now I can finally have it and stitch it. And it is the Pumpkin House from Hello from Liz Matthews. I don't have my chart yet, so I haven't started stitching it yet. But it's the one that you stitch half of it on a dark fabric, half of it on a light fabric. And then you stitch those fabrics together for your finish. When Sarah showed that all these months ago, I thought that was so unique. I had not seen anything. I mean, I've seen things where you like stitch the fabrics together, but something with the dark and the light, and also my favorite season, pumpkins, it just grabbed me. And so I do have my fabric ready for that, okay? So that's my dark, that's my light. You need to do these in the same count. So I got an 18 count, Picture This Plus, Haunted is the blue, Fog is this one. This is one of my favorite neutrals from Picture This Plus, and I'm doing all of my Hello from Liz Matthews, the Days of Christmas on this fabric. It's just such a good, like, a cool color. And like this, it's dark, but it's also not like super, super dark. I don't know how to explain it, but I think that they look so perfect together. I'm so excited to get that and get started stitching on it. Now here's where my decision making is coming in. Carrie has done a color conversion for this using Forbidden Fiber Company's flosses, and it is beautiful. She brightened it up some. So I've like put that in my cart. Am I gonna get it? Am I not gonna get it? And honestly, I think I'm gonna go with DMC on it just because all my other Hello from Liz Matthews, I've done them all in DMC, and they're kind of the same, like color like I don't know, they just all work really good together. And I want this to tie in with those two. So I think I might do the DMC, although I kind of have FOMO if I don't get the conversion because it's really pretty, but then it's also like different colors than what I've done before. So that's where I'm at in that thought process. But anyway, I will, that's all I have to show. That's all my haul, my finishes, my whips, new starts, everything. And I hope you enjoyed seeing everything that I had to share as much as I enjoyed sharing it, because I have been really like waiting to show this stuff. And I haven't put a lot of this stuff on my Instagram. I struggle with that. I'm like, because before I had a Flosstube, I would just put everything on Instagram. Just whenever I got finished with it, just put it on Instagram. Well, now I'm thinking, well, why don't I save it and show it on Flosstube? But I don't know. I don't know how, like, what, if anybody has any advice for me on that, maybe that has a Flosstube, or just as a viewer, like, do you like to see things in real time, like on Instagram, and then also see it here, or see it here and then like see it later on Instagram? I mean, I don't really know. I'm just trying to like do my best here. Anyway, thank y'all for spending time with me. And oh, you know what? I did want to say thank you to several people that have shouted me out on their videos. Always Carrie, thank you for always shouting me out, and you know, I appreciate you so much. Nicole Spore, thank you, girl. Thank you so much. Love that you were inspired by my berry, and I can't wait to see yours. You're such a sweet soul. I love watching your videos. Also, Mrs. Smith Stitches, thank you so much. And Be a Blessing, thank y'all both. I'm glad that you were inspired by my blue house and are gonna stitch that the same. Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, thank you for your inspiration, and your videos are so sweet. The Pink Stitchers also, they are so fun to watch, and just like watch them going back and forth, and like, I don't know, it's just really fun. It kind of feels like you're sitting there with them, and they're funny, so you should check them out. But they shouted me out too that they had watched, and so I just really appreciate everybody who mentions me, and I've just had so much fun making these videos and chatting with y'all. So I hope that you have a great week, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Happy stitching!